Hello, you are listening to Mind Your Business, the podcast that lets you get to know the stories behind some of your favourite Scottish businesses. Hope you enjoy the episode. So hello and welcome to another episode of Mind Your Business. Now this week I'm joined by Niki from Hiya Pal.
Hi.
So hiya.
Hiya.
Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, how long have we spoke on Instagram? It feels like so long.
Yeah, it must be.
I feel like we've been pals online for ages.
Yeah, totally.
Because it was on my other account, it wasn't even just when this
so
started.
at least a couple of years, I think.
So it's nice to finally meet
I
you.
know, finally meet you, not just an Instagram buddy.
I know. So we're here to talk about Hiya Pal.
Yep.
So how did you get started with this? Where did it all begin?
So I am from a really creative family.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's an architect and my mum makes things. She does a lot of patchwork and sewing, so she's always done loads of craft fairs.
Right.
So ever since I was tiny, I was brought along to all the craft fairs, and from when I was quite young, I was encouraged to make stuff and sell it at the craft fairs as well.
Oh.
So I think I've always kind of had that thing in me to want to make things and sell things for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I was quite academic at school, so I actually ended up going to uni and doing a sort of science course instead and doing a degree there. But after 3 years decided to stop and go to art school because the need to make things and be creative was just too much. So I managed to get into Glasgow School of Art and I did graphic design there. So I did my degree, and when I left I did a couple of internships at graphic design studios, but I ended up, I didn't really like being stuck behind a computer all the time. So even the whole degree, all the stuff I did was very handmade. There was always handmade elements to it. I liked working with tactile things. Yeah. So being stuck behind a computer all the time was not my thing. But also I really suffered from imposter syndrome. Just really feeling like I was pressured to do work in a certain way, and that I didn't really feel like I was good enough. Right. And I felt like that all the time. So and I was working really hard, and I'd take stuff home and I'd work at home for extra hours just to try and make it good enough. And I couldn't get past that feeling, and so I wasn't enjoying it basically, and I didn't want to continue doing that. I do still do a bit of graphic design now for people, but because I'm doing it for myself and I take on clients that I like, I think I want to work with, and I just find it a lot easier now to do work that I like, but I don't think I was suited to that kind of environment at all. And I struggled with it. So I was, after art school and doing the internships, I basically was just working jobs at mobile phone shops and housekeeping at hotels and things like that. And I worked in Great Western Road on a mobile phone shop, and it was brilliant because the kind of people that I was talking to, the public that I was talking to on a daily basis, the Scottish Banter was brilliant. So it just really, I've always obviously loved Scottish Banter. I've grown up in Scotland, but it was just getting it on a daily basis in Glasgow was just brilliant. And so that's really where the card design started happening. So I've always made my husband Valentines cards, and that year I made him one that said bawheid on it, and it had a tartan in it, a tartan heart on it, and everyone loved it. I put it up on Facebook and everyone thought it was brilliant, and so the ideas just kept coming from hearing banter in the shop, from talking to customers. I love the way Glasgow patter is. It's kind of rude and cheeky, but you call your pals a bawheid, and it's just that kind of, the way that people speak is brilliant. And I wanted to kind of make a handmade card out of it, and that's how it all started, really.
That's how it all kicked off.
So sort of started selling on Etsy, and on through Facebook, and then about a year or 6 months maybe down the line, applied for Not on the High Street and got on there, and that's when it just kind of ballooned up a bit, and started really, and that's when I left O2 as well. So just it was doing well enough, and I was pregnant with my first wee boy, so I knew that I wanted to work for myself when I had kids.
Yeah.
So I just decided to make a go of it, and it just kept growing. So it was good.
That's so mad that it come for like one card.
Yeah,
you and your
yeah.
husband, and it's snowballed into this.
Totally. Yeah.
So when did you know that it was like really kind of starting to take off and it was like proper? Did it take long?
No, like 6 months maybe. So
Wow.
I was maybe only 6 months that I was still working in another job and doing that, and then it just all made sense to just go for it and push it, and it's never really been a full-time job because I do it around 2 kids now, and but it's also brilliant because it does fit around them. So if they're off sick, I'm here. I can be here, and now that they're starting school, it's obviously, I mean, when it started, I was just fitting it into nap times and evenings, but now that they're at school and nursery, it's a lot more time I can put into it, and it's just at the speed at which it's growing now is obviously much bigger than it was a few years ago. So that's 7 years now.
Wow.
It's been going.
So that's perfect timing there. They're just starting to go to school, and then you've got this all this free time.
Yeah, it's ideal. Yeah, and I think it's funny because I'm always sort of wishing the time away with them because I'm like, yes, I'm going to get more time to work because I'm dead excited about it. But yeah, it's also been brilliant that it's fitted in with our lifestyle and with them being wee and needing me around.
Yeah, you got that time. That's nice.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the branding, obviously you said you do like the graphic design.
Yeah.
So was that quite an easy thing to come up with the name and the Scottish banter everywhere? And
do you know what the funny thing is? I think it's harder when you do graphic design, come up with your own branding. I don't know if you think the same.
Yeah, it's definitely harder.
Because it's just when you speak to a client and you kind of get them straight away, and you know what their values are, and you know what to do. When it's yourself, it's just so tricky. So I don't know, my branding's pretty basic. I just go with my favourite colour, and I've got the wee Q shape, which has been around since the start. And I don't tend to focus too much on the branding and just sort of more on what I'm saying, I suppose, and the stories I'm trying to tell, and let the products kind of talk for themselves as well. So.
Yeah, because everything like on your website, all your descriptions, and like even your wee button to like sign up for newsletters, and it's all like branded and Scottish and
like the cookies thing is I no bother or something like that.
I love that.
But I think that's where it's important. So in terms of branding in that way, I've definitely covered everything, I think, and but that's why you don't see that very often. It's always the usual script. So it's kind of nice when you can tweak bits like that to be a bit more Scottish and be a bit more on brand.
Yeah, it's a bit more personal, and it's fun as well.
And funny, yeah.
You do get used to seeing the same old things and the same old descriptions and having something a bit fun.
Yeah, totally. No,
so was there any other names in the run-in? How did you come up with Hiya Pal?
Do you know, it was that long ago, I can't really remember. I'm sure there was a couple of things, but Hiya Pal one, it was my husband that came up with the idea, not me. But it was just dead simple, and it was open enough that I could do, like, I didn't want anything that just said cards, because I wanted the option to branch out into other things. So it's sort of, it's not very descriptive, I suppose, of what I do, but it is something that you hear all the time, especially in Glasgow, and even like the delivery guys that drop off stuff here, it doesn't even always say Hiya Pal on the address label, but the thing that they always say is Hiya Pal when they open the door, and that's what they greet me with anyway. So it's just it's a really common saying, and it's good to use it.
I love a Scottish name.
Yeah.
It's like my mum when people ask like, oh, what's your podcast called? I'm like, mind your business.
yeah.
So it's like I'm like really rude. But I love that, like the Scottish and a bit of fun and a bit of banter.
No, it's good. And I like the way the company's kind of grown really organically as well. So I've not rushed out to go and get loads of stockists or pump too much money into the business to try and grow it really quickly, because it had to fit around the kids. So it's always been dead slow, and I've got loads of stockists now, but it's all sort of come about slowly. And at first loads of them contacted me, so they saw my Facebook and Instagram and contacted me to ask about stocking them, and then when I was sort of ready to grow the company a bit and get some more stockists, I sent out Valentines cards to some shops.
Right. Oh.
So I did wee cards for them and told them that I really fancied them and that I thought my cards would look good in their shop, sort of in a wee jokey way, and got a few more stockists that year that way as well. So I kind of like to do things a wee bit differently, and it's, I guess, because my cards are handmade and they're a bit different in that sense from most of the cards in shops that want to do things slightly differently and more personal. And yeah, so I'm really pleased with the sort of the range of wee independent retailers I'm in at the moment. It's great.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, like, is it tough to get into the stockists? Like, I'm assuming the first ones would be quite... Yeah,
it's hard. And at first I had no idea what I was doing either, so I was just sort of taking a punt, and but I think gradually you work it out, and you need to grow a bit of a thicker skin, because obviously not all shops are going to want your stuff, and it's not always down to... It's not personal, like it's not necessarily even down your product.
No.
It could be anything to do with what the shop are doing at that point in time, or what other stuff they've got in, if they feel there's a clash. Sometimes you don't even hear back from them, but they're so busy. Our wee independent retailers in our high street are working so hard to stay there, that they're just so busy that they can't get back to everyone that sends stuff in either. So it is difficult, but you do sort of just learn to get on with it. If there's shops that don't want your stuff, that's okay, and then just work with the ones that do want your stuff, and make sure that you're promoting them as well, because they're the ones that are selling your stuff to customers. And I think it's really important to make sure that you are shouting about them as well. It's not just a one-way thing. You need to make sure that people know, that your audience knows that they can go into the wee shops to get their stuff, the stuff there as well.
Yeah, you've got quite a lot though. You've got quite a range across quite a
I think
area.
There's about 20 now, obviously all in Scotland. And I'm always looking for more. I'll probably do my next sort of call out in a couple of months. I've just picked up a few in January, so I've been kept dead busy this year so far, which is great. But it'd be good to get a few more. Yeah.
So do you actually go out to the shops to deliver, or is it more...
Sometimes. It depends how close they are. And it's kind of difficult with the kids and school hours and stuff.
Yeah.
Quite often I'll send my husband he travels around Scotland sometimes for his work. So sometimes he's a courier for Hiya Pal as well. So we just sort of... depends how far they are, but it would be lovely to go and visit everywhere.
But get to meet them all.
But Elgin's quite far away, so just if we're going on any trips in the summer, we'll definitely try and do stop-offs.
Yeah, I seen you were in one near me. You're in Grain and Sustain, aren't you? In Burnt Island.
Yes, that's right. Who I heard about through your podcast, actually.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh my god.
So that's
because I seen she popped up some stuff, and I was like,
I
recognise that.
Connections.
It must be so nice though to have to meet all these wee independent business owners and shop owners.
It's brilliant, and I love working with smaller businesses, and I don't do any minimum orders on my cards and stuff, because I think it's important that little shops get access to Scottish designers and get the stock into their shops. And,
totally,
and I love supporting high street shops. I just think it's so important to have them about. So it's
nice to get something a bit different.
Yeah, of course.
Just like the Asda
exactly. No, it's definitely something. And loads of people who get my cards then go on to frame them. So it's kind of making something that's not as throwaway as a normal card would be. And then I do personalised ones as well. So so lots of people come to me with crazy ideas that they want, something absolutely nuts made into a card, and usually I can manage to do it. It takes a bit of time, but and then it's something really special for the person. So something that you wouldn't get anywhere else.
Totally. I think I've gave one to my mum and my dad, and I'm sure they've got them somewhere in the house, because they're so nice. They're
getting kept.
Too nice to throw away or get shoved in the drawer like all the rest of the cards do. So when it comes to the designs, how do you kind of get the inspiration for them? Where do they?
A lot of them, I suppose, just kind of pop into your head, like just having a silly conversation with someone, and you hear someone call someone else a muppet, and I'm like, that'd make a great wee card. And then put it with Kermit's outline the silhouette. Like, it's just and it's just little things like that. And so I used to sort of would go out to the pub, I would have a wee notebook, and if I heard anything funny, I'd be writing it down. And yeah, I obviously don't do that as much anymore, but yeah, just watching programs like Still Game and just wee things like that, you pick up wee funny things and think, oh, that'd make a nice wee card for someone.
Yeah, it was the Darth Vader one I got my dad for Father's Day. Yeah. You're my dad.
So that one's been around for, I found a photo of that one from 7 years ago when I started.
Oh really?
So yeah, it's mad. So a lot of them were, a lot of the most popular ones are ones that I've been doing since the start.
Right.
But the ones I probably find the most fun are just ones recently I've done, like Hod the Bus and a wee silhouette of a bus, and just doing slightly more complicated things, I think. But yeah, those are the ones that, I mean, they don't, who sends a card saying Hod the Bus? I mean, what occasion would you do it for? It's obviously not going to be one that sells all the time, but it's quite a funny wee one to do, and yeah.
But it's nice to kind of encourage people just to send cards for like no reason.
Exactly, yeah. It's so much nicer to get I know we live in an age of text and emails and it's dead easy and stuff, but yeah, for someone to have gone and bought a card specifically for you, they've written it, they've found your address from somewhere again, and I don't know about you, I don't have an address book. No. Like, I'm constantly asking my friends for their address again. So yeah, they've gone to all that effort, gone to the shop and bought stamps and actually posted it for you. Yeah. So it's just so much nicer to have something like that, especially if it's not even for a real reason like a birthday, just a wee card to say they're thinking of you. Or
yeah, because I wanted to chat about that, the ones that you've got, the mental health ones. So where did that idea come from, just to have like a wee thing to send someone? Yeah,
well, it sort of came about and so Scott Hutchison died of suicide in May 2018. He was from the band Frightened Rabbit. And it sounds, I don't know him, I didn't know him, but it totally hit me. And it's such a massive thing, and mental health affects all of us, obviously, in different ways, and to different extents. And I just, after that, I wrote a blog post about my own experience with mental health stuff. And a couple of months later, a friend came to me who was also feeling pretty miserable, and I realised that actually talking about it hadn't just helped me, because obviously it's therapeutic, talking about it and writing about it, but it helps other people to open up to their issues as well. So I'm always saying to people, talk about it when things are a bit shit. Talk about it, just talk about it. And I know it doesn't work for everyone, but then the year after, so last summer, and I had donated, I think, 10% of my sales that month to the Scottish Association of Mental Health. And then this summer I kind of wanted to do something again, and came up with the idea of doing just a small range of cards where I donate all the profit again to the Scottish Association of Mental Health. So there is 3 designs. They've got I sat and wrote 3 sort of poems almost, just ones that say that I'm thinking about you, that you're not on your own, that could be sent for a variety of reasons, and to encourage folk to just get in touch with people that they hadn't heard from for a while, because I think the problem is when you're feeling depressed, you don't necessarily want to, that there's people there that you could approach, but you don't want to approach them. You just don't want to. You just sort of retract into your own space. So I think by getting other people to reach out, that's a good way to start a conversation. So those cards are there primarily for that kind of situation. Yeah,
it's such a nice idea though, because it is like, just cause we're all so connected, but do you ever actually like text people and say like, look, are you alright?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think especially when friends kind of drop off the radar and you're like, oh, they're not coming out anymore, and you sort of just think, oh well, they must be busy, but it's that reaching out and making sure that actually your pals are okay, and making sure that they know that they can talk to you, and maybe sometimes forcing them into the conversation, so it's not just up to them to do it.
Yeah, because it's all good saying like, oh, you can always talk to me, but like you say, if someone's in that space, like are they actually going to be the one to reach out?
Exactly, yeah.
So I think that's such a good idea, and it's such a nice way to get things.
Yeah, I'm really pleased, and the cards have done well, and there's, you know, some of my stockists are buying them as well, so it's great. It's good that they're out there.
Yeah, we all need to be a bit nicer to each other, I think.
Definitely.
Especially in the...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all sort of, it's obviously massive in the media just now. So it's a good thing. We need to keep talking about it, but we need to actually do more about it as well.
Yeah,
so,
totally. So, is there like a favourite card that you have to make? Do you have one that's like
probably
dear to your heart?
just the kind of cheekier ones, like I do a birthday one that's "You're no deed yet," for example. And the bawheid one still, that was, you know, the first one, and that's still dead simple, but I think it says a lot. So just the kind of the funnier ones, I think, are probably my favourite. The ones you wouldn't necessarily expect to get, but that make people laugh when they see them.
I love you, but you're a bawheid.
Yes, that's it.
Sometimes you just need that.
Yeah, exactly. It's good, and they're dead popular, obviously, and people have a good laugh about them. So that is the idea, really. To put a smile on people's
So are they
faces.
the best selling ones as well?
Pretty much. There's also like Love You Hunters and I Would Walk 500 Miles is obviously big sellers as well. But the kind of funnier, cheekier ones, and I've done, you know, a few craft fairs and things, and it's always the ones that people are gutting themselves, standing in front of my stall, just looking at all the designs and gutting themselves. And that's always the best ones.
So do you enjoy the kind of fairs and markets and stuff?
I don't, because I'm not really. I just worry about what I'm going to say, and I'm a bit of an introvert, so I get really exhausted by things like that. So I panic in the lead up to it, and then I panic while I'm there, and then I go home, and I just don't want to speak to anyone for a few hours because I've just been panicking too much. Which is annoying, but it's just the way I am. So I've sort of come to realise that. So I don't really do many fairs anymore. I do the odd one, but I just find the whole thing a bit too stressful. But what I miss doing, I miss from not doing them, is seeing people laugh at my cards, because that was always fun, a fun kind of side of doing craft fairs. But I think I'm much better just getting my cards out to shops and them selling them for me, and obviously doing the online stuff. And I do love doing the social media posts and writing stuff for that. So I'll keep doing that, definitely.
Because you've got quite a following on social media as well.
It's been good. Again, it's just kind of grown organically, and I think I just tend to try and be quite honest, and try and put a funny spin on things as well, rather than like I don't have a beautiful grid that's all set up and sequenced, and like I can't do that. Like I just post whatever I kind of feel like, and I know that can maybe not work so well for business, but I just feel like it's a way for me to show who I am and what I'm doing and my process, and I don't know, I think customers connect with that, so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
No, I prefer that actually, because I used to have the structure like proper, and since I let that go, it's like so much less pressure,
a bit freer, and
I think people engage with it more because it's like realer. And when I look right down there, I'm like, it looked so cold before and so like structured, and
I mean it looks beautiful, but I think you're right. I think the engagement thing is just all about being a bit more real, and
because then you can't post things when they come up because you have to stick to this. It's horrible. I like when people just post what they want, pictures of their dogs and their dinners, and
exactly,
bit of behind the scenes stuff. So when you're kind of making the cards, and I know you have other products as well, how long does it sort of take for like an idea to like an actual product ready to sell? Is it quite
it can be really quick.
Really?
I have been known to be hanging out with pals in our house and having a conversation, and something will spark an idea, and I'll just bugger off to the office, which is in my house, so I'm not like going that far. But I will just disappear, and half an hour later, or 15 minutes later, I'll come out with a new product, and the next day I'll be photographing it and sticking it up. But I think that's the benefit of hand making stuff, that I'm here, and when an idea hits, I can just pull it together, and or obviously it can take longer if it's not quite working and I need to try a few other things, but most of the time it's just a wee funny thing that's come out, and I can do it really quickly, so
that's cool though.
It's quite fun. And like I did I love you, I will always love you, an EU card
I love that one,
a couple of weeks ago, and it was just a wee kind of funny idea, and I thought I would do it for Facebook and Instagram, really. I just thought I'd do a wee post, and I sold loads of them, and I wasn't really expecting it. I wasn't really trying to do it as a product. I just sort of, sometimes I just want to make a wee statement or whatever and make something, but then it turns out that actually it's quite popular.
That's
so,
cool then.
Yeah.
Because I suppose you can make cool things for social media and that, just like a wee card when things are happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make a wee comment and stuff. I did that. I did a Trump card when everyone had their protest things up, and did a wee one like that. And again, that was, everyone loved it. I had really good engagement on Instagram. But I didn't really make it into something that I would sell. But it's just nice to be able to just think of something and make it up, and
that must be, that's so good. And the calendars as well, I love them.
They've just done so well. I'm so pleased. So I started them last year, so 2018 I did my first one, and it was so popular, and then this year I just have to get buying more because they were selling out, so that was cool. So those take a bit longer.
I can imagine.
So the time you spend trying to make sure all the dates and days are right and all of that.
I'd be terrified.
Honestly, see when the boxes get delivered, you should see me shaking as I'm opening it, trying to check them over. But no, they've all been okay so far. So, they've been dead popular, so I'm really pleased with those.
It must feel good when you've come up with something and then people love it. It must feel like you're hanging in their kitchens and their houses.
And people, so throughout the year, people tag me on Instagram because they've just turned over to a new page, a new month, and they're like, oh, this is in my living room or office and stuff. And it's really cool to know that I'm there. And obviously I'm there for like big events, for when babies are born, and for new houses and weddings and all of that, because people are giving their cards, and people are then wanting to frame them and stuff, so it's just really lovely.
That's so cool to be part of that.
It's really nice.
So you've mentioned your wee boys, obviously you've got family life. How is that juggling with your business?
It is difficult, obviously. It has become a little bit easier as they've gotten a bit older, so. But it's tricky. It's tricky, but I think it's just sort of, it's never going to be easy because they change. How much they need me is going to change as they're growing up, and it's an ongoing thing that you just sort of have to adapt to all the time. So it's hard, and obviously I work from home as well, so I don't really get away from doing housework as well and things like that. It just all kind of creeps in. So it's all about, I guess, setting boundaries and set times for things, but I'm not very good at that yet.
I was going to say, do you have that time to kind of switch off? And
not really, no. I mean, I went away for a week there, and I actually for the first time switched my website off, so I wasn't even getting any orders or anything, and I still kept checking my emails because I was like, why am I not getting any emails? Why is no one getting in touch? Why have I got no orders? And obviously it's because I've switched my website off. But and you're still thinking about what's next and what new products you might do or collaborations and things like that. It's your business, so you're always thinking about it, really. So,
and you'll be thinking well ahead there. You'll be thinking about like Christmas and like
so usually Christmas starts for me in August.
Oh god.
Mental. And my husband's got a rule in the house that I'm not allowed to put any Christmas music on until December. But obviously it's hard when you're starting that in August. And to be honest, then October through to December is just full on Christmas. And then as soon as I'm back, I take a week off for Christmas and New Year. And as soon as I'm back, it's into Valentine's Day, really. Yeah. So there's that sort of October to Mother's Day, March really is just full on. And then it sort of dies down a little bit, but
and you're back to Christmas.
Exactly, it just repeats. But it's all good, and I think I'll just forever still be working it out and trying to adapt to what's going on with kids' holidays and things like that. I just need to be to be able to wing it a bit, I think.
Yeah, it's hard when it's like your business to take that time away and think about it. And
yeah.
You started this so you can kind of have like freedom and stuff, but then you end up just thinking about it all the time.
I know, it's really hard to switch off in the evenings. I think, when John goes out, I could just be sitting working until like midnight easily, just on a Friday night, instead of just watching some rubbish telly or reading a book or something. But it's just kind of what you do, and I sort of enjoy it, so you just get on with
I do that if Andrew's out, or if he's on night shift, I'm working until he wakes up at like 9 at night, and I didn't even realise. That's 9.
You don't realise the time passing.
I don't think anyone can switch off properly.
No, but it's good when you realise that you need to take a bit of time out for yourself and do a few other things as well. And I've been a bit better the last year or so. I've been a bit better at not working all the time and taking evenings off and stuff. So I'm getting there.
Doing things that you enjoy. And
getting there with that.
No, I think is that all my questions? Right, so this is a wee section that I call Check Them Out. So if you have any small businesses that you want to shout out, you can shout out as many as you like.
Brilliant. This section, honestly, I could go on forever. There are hundreds.
Go for it.
I've decided though that I'm only going to do a few of the local ones, wee companies that I want to shout about, because otherwise I really would be here forever. So so first up is Kaylee Powney Photography. She is a photographer, lives in Helensburgh, and her work is absolutely dreamy. It's amazing. She does all sorts of styles of photography, but she's done some product shots for me, and she's also done some family products for me, shots for me as well. So she's lovely, and on top of that, she's just the most lovely person ever. She's so bubbly and gorgeous and really lovely to be about. So so that's Kaylee at Kaylee Powney Photography. Also a wee shout out to Amy, who runs Buttercup Moon in Helensburgh. It's a children's wear shop, and they sell loads of lovely organic clothing and sort of kids toys, and Amy's one of my best pals from when we were wee, so it's really lovely that she's in Helensburgh doing that as well. And we get to collaborate together on our window designs, which is like probably my dream job, doing window displays, and especially for a children's shop. It's just so much fun. So cute. So definitely Buttercup Moon in Helensburgh. Another shout out to Sarah at Lomond Paper Company. So Sarah is another card designer in Helensburgh. Her stuff's gorgeous. Her illustration style is really, really lovely. And Sarah's also set up a wee group called Gather and Blether. So it's a wee group of creatives, local creatives, for a chance for us all to meet up, because you know how lonely it can be working on your own. So it's just a really great wee group to meet up and chat about stuff, and any issues you're having with what you're doing, you can kind of chat it over with some like-minded people, which is really nice. It's good to have that. My pal Shuna, who runs the Tea Jenny, makes cakes to die for, and she runs vintage tea parties as well in Glasgow and roundabout. So she's doing a great job with her business, and she's just another really great person to chat to about any business related things, which is awesome. I've got one more for you. Emma at Yo-Yo Studio. She's also an illustrator in Helensburgh, and she does art and printables for kids. And again, met her through Sarah's Gather and Blether group, and she's just really switched on about business and has run other businesses before, so really great person to bounce ideas off and speak to about stuff like that as well. Amazing. So I think that's it. I'm going to keep it to that, because otherwise I would just go on
keep
forever.
On going. Well, I'll tag all them in the post when this goes live, so everyone can find them. And the last thing is for you to plug yourself. So where can we find you online? Where can we buy your stuff?
So my website is www.hiyapal.co.uk. You can also find me on Instagram at Hiya Pal Cards, and on Facebook as well. Just search hiyapal.co.uk on Facebook, and that's really it. I know I should be on LinkedIn and Twitter and all that, but I can't hack it all. So those are website, Instagram and Facebook are the three ones.
Perfect. You need to keep it keep it manageable.
Totally.
No, I'll tag you as well so everyone can find you.
Brilliant.
And yeah, that's it. You survived.
Oh, phew. So stressful. Well, actually, it was really lovely chatting to you, so it wasn't stressful, really.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Brilliant.
And I will speak to you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Mind Your Business. Head over and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Mind Your Business Podcast to see everything that we've been chatting about in this episode. If you're enjoying the podcast, please be sure to subscribe and drop us a review wherever you listen to help us spread the word. If you fancy getting access to some exclusive interviews, polls, forums and more, or if you're a small business looking to advertise, head over to our Patreon now.